We're going to use chalk and one of my favorite transfers for this project. I've used this transfer over a dozen times and it still works great. Some chalks and inks can stain your transfer, but it won't interfere with the quality at all. So we're fuzzing first to create a light layer of lint on the back. And then we're going to place the design in the center of our chalkboard. Remember, you can chalk on just about every surface, including metal, wood, and glass. I've even chalked my appliances and the back window of my car. Our chalk is completely removable off most surfaces, but it can stain some wooden and metal surfaces. Once we have our design where we want it, we're going to apply pressure to remove any bubbles under the transfer. We want it to lay completely flat on the surface. I'm going to teach you the chalk and lift technique today. This technique helps when working with larger projects or with multiple colors. It allows you to complete a small section at a time so the chalk doesn't dry and stick to the transfer while you're working. We're going to use our grapefruit chalk and go over the first line. Now our chalk is water soluble. You can't see in the video, but I just added a little bit of water to my chalk. When you use water on your chalk, please make sure to use filtered or distilled water. That'll keep your chalk in good shape. So once I have the first line completely covered, I'm going to go over it with the squeegee just to pick up any extra chalk. And now I'm going to lift the transfer and then I'm going to let it fall right back down. I'm not going to apply any more pressure to that section. That section is done. And I'm going to move on to my next line, again taking my grapefruit chalk and covering up the line, making sure that I go over all of the negative space. Now the negative space in our transfers is not hollow. There is actually a silk screen, and this silk screen is what allows us to wash and reuse our transfers so many times. Now I'm going to switch to a different color for the word Christ. I'm going to use our shimmer silver. I love the shimmer colors. Who doesn't love glitter, right? So again, I'm lifting up, and while I'm lifting, I noticed that the O smudged. There must have been a bubble under the O, and I'm going to show you how to quickly fix this. I'm going to take a baby wipe and just wipe off where I made a mistake. And this is why I love Couture, because if you mess up or you don't quite like how something came out, you can erase it and you can try again. So you don't waste any supplies and you don't end up with a project that you don't love. I'm going to take a dry paper towel now and just wipe off the extra moisture. And then I'm going to lay my transfer back down, apply pressure just to that section that I'm going to re-chalk, and just go over it one more time with my chalk. So simple to fix a mistake. And I lift it again, and there it is, all better. I'm going to let the rest of the transfer fall back, and now I'm going to take my silver shimmer with a different squeegee so I don't mix my colors, and I'm going to go over the word Christ. We have the shimmer colors in gold, copper, and silver. So once I go over the entire word, I'm going to go back with my squeegee and just pick up any extra chalk and put it back into my container. So you use very little chalk with every project. The containers last a long time. And there it is. Our next word is done. I'm going to let it fall back and I'm going to keep going. I'm making sure to cover all of the design. as I go. And as I finish each line, I lift any extra chalk and then lift up the transfer. Perfect. Let it fall back down and do the next line. I really like this technique because I don't feel rushed, and I can check each piece of the project as I go, making sure it's what I want it to look like. I can also use several different colors using this technique, but today I really wanted to just use the grapefruit and the silver shimmer for this project. And we're just about done. Making sure I'm picking up any extra chalk, putting it back into my container, and now we can lift. And our project is done. My transfer is going to go face down into some water so that I can easily remove the chalk. And I'm going to take my blow dryer and give it a quick dry because I don't want to smudge it as it's drying. It only takes a couple minutes to dry, but the blow dryer helps it dry faster. You can blow dry it on warm or on cool. Doesn't really matter, just takes a minute. And then I do a final inspection, and if I see anything I don't like, I'm able to go in with my nail and just scratch off any imperfection, and we are good to go. So here's our final project.